Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. If you are new here, my name is Cole Hastings, and if you are trying to evolve your body and mind through a plant-based diet, as well as personal development topics, then consider subscribing. So is that you after a long night of playing video games? You decide, you know what, I'll just go to bed at 4 a.m., wake up at 9 a.m. We'll see what happens. And then, boom, you're hit with zero gains. Now, that actually doesn't really happen, but sleep is so crucial to actually gaining muscle, to actually keeping on that muscle and performing your best in the gym. Now, there's two parts of this video. I'm kind of gonna split it into two parts. The first part of this video is gonna go over studies that show how important sleep is to building muscle and to preserving muscle as well. And then the second part of the video is going to be on how to actually improve your sleep quality, because I know a lot of people don't sleep a lot simply because they don't know how, or they just can't do it. They can't fall asleep and they can't stay asleep either. So look forward to this entire video. If you watch the entire video, I'm sure that you are going to help yourself to make more gains in the gym. First, let's go over the science behind how sleep actually repairs and builds your muscles. There are different stages during your sleep that do different things during those times. And one of these hormones that is produced is called HGH, human growth hormone, and it has a huge effect on how much muscle you're actually going to be building and how much that muscle is going to get repaired while you are sleeping. There are two specific stages that we need to focus on, and that is the N3 stage of the NREM sleep cycle, which is non-rapid eye movement. This is when blood flow to your muscle increases and tissue growth and repair occurs. And then there's the REM, which is the rapid eye movement. And during this stage, your muscles relax, so it can actually relieve a lot of chronic pain. And obviously, if you're in a lot of pain, you're not going to want to go to the gym as much, and you will just feel sore, and you will probably take an extra day off or something like that. It will slow down your gains. Okay, let's go over more of the science. Let's show you some studies that cite how important sleep is to muscle growth. This first study is all about the hormone cortisol. I'm sure you've probably heard of it. It's the stress hormone, and if you have too much of this in your body, you do need a little bit of it, but if you have too much, then it can actually break down your muscles and cause you to repair your muscles slower. So in this study, they took 6 healthy young men. They were studied on a 4-day protocol. They found that during the first 4 hours of sustained sleep, cortisol secretion was decreased even when the sleep occurred during a time when the subject was usually awake. But I don't suggest that you only get 4 hours of sleep, because you need a lot more than that to keep your cortisol levels down. But what was interesting was it was elevated if awake at the usual daily time of sleeping. So that's why it's so important to have a circadian rhythm, as in going to bed and waking up at the same time will actually allow you to regulate those hormones better in your body too. Now, these next two studies are kind of linked to each other because it's just showing how lack of sleep is going to increase your obesity, your body mass index actually, and makes you want to eat more and keeps you less satiated, and therefore it's going to lower your testosterone levels as well. So this study is about testosterone levels in obese male patients with obstructive sleep apnea syndrome. If you don't know what this is, sleep apnea is when your breathing suddenly starts and stops when you are sleeping, and it actually causes you to sleep a lot worse. We're not going to get too much into the details because there's a lot of complicated scientific stuff, but let's just read the last few sentences. And the study suggests that sleeping hours are an additional factor in reducing testosterone levels regardless of BMI and abdominal fatness. So this is like double bad, because even if you aren't obese and even if you don't have this sleep apnea, your testosterone levels are going to be reduced if you don't get enough sleep. And guess what a short sleep duration does? It reduces your leptin, it elevates your ghrelin levels, and it increases your body mass index. I've talked about these two hormones a little bit on my channel before, but for those who don't know, leptin is what keeps you satiated and keeps you feeling full, and ghrelin is what makes you want to eat and makes you hungry. It's the hunger hormone. So when these two combine in the wrong way, as they do when you don't get enough sleep, it's going to cause you to overeat, and with a high enough body fat percentage, you will get a reduction in testosterone. And what that does is obviously makes you gain less muscle. Okay, so we know how much sleep benefits building muscle, but how does it affect our performance in the gym? There's actually a lot of neurocognitive consequences of getting little sleep. I'll leave a link in the description to the study, but we all know how crappy we perform in the gym when we don't get good sleep. Like, I'm not able to lift as much, I'm not able to have as much endurance either, and that's gonna affect how much muscle you're gonna build over time. If you're consistently not getting enough sleep, you will never be able to hit PRs. So we know everything we need to know. We realize how important sleep is for building muscle. So how do we get enough sleep, and how much should we sleep? Well, most research suggests around 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Personally, I try to get towards the 9 hours of sleep just because I'm an athlete and I'm usually constantly sore. So I want to be recovering as quickly as possible. So I usually get around 9 hours of sleep, and that's what I recommend for you people who are working out like 5 times a week. And now I will give you tips on how to improve your sleep quality and fall asleep quicker. This is super important, so don't skip this part. Number 1 is to turn off all your electronics 30 minutes before bed, at least 30 minutes before bed. That means no screens and no white lights before bed. You want to try to keep it as dark as possible, honestly. And what I have next to my bed is a Himalayan salt lamp. I turn that on at night instead of my other light in my room, and honestly, I can tell the difference in how quickly I fall asleep when I do that. Next thing I do that helps is drink some sort of herbal tea. So I try to drink chamomile tea right before bed. It has a lot of relaxing effects. It kind of soothes your stomach. It reduces bloating. Just makes you feel good. Like, chamomile tea is definitely one of my faves. I'm not actually gonna waste one of my chamomile tea packs just for this video. It's not even nighttime. Speaking of things I consume before bed, I also try to take CBD oil. CBD oil has tons of benefits, more than just improving your sleep quality. It reduces anxiety. It's good for people with Parkinson's. It just relaxes you a ton, relaxes your body. And I find that when I take that before bed, I don't wake up at all during the night. So usually I wake up to take a piss or something like that, but this completely eradicates that and gives me the best sleep quality possible. So if you want to get the CBD oil I use from Alpine Organics, that's the one I recommend because it's in a nice dropper and it's the most effective form. Go to their website, the link's gonna be in the description, and you can use my code 8fold for 30% off your order. Next is to not work out or eat too late. I find that when I work out too late, it kind of just gives me energy and it's harder to fall asleep, although working out in general does help you to fall asleep as long as you do it early enough. And then as for eating, your body's kind of trying to digest all that as you're also trying to fall asleep. So it kind of just keeps your body up because it's trying to perform some other task while you are trying to just go to sleep, which is another task. Now, when I actually get into bed, I usually meditate for 5 to 10 minutes. This in combination with the CBD oil is nuts. Like, I have never fallen asleep faster with the combo of the two. You should do some nice mindful meditation. Just clear your thoughts. Don't try to focus on any one thing and kind of just be in the present moment. I have videos on meditation as well if you want to check those out, but it is one of the best practices to do, not only for sleep, just for life in general. Now comes the laying down part, possibly one of the hardest parts for people because they just can't sit still and they can't seem to get their mind to shut off. While meditation helps, here's another helpful tip. When you're laying down, I want you to start at your head and picture your face and your head just kind of melting into the pillow, like you're becoming super weightless. And do that with every single body part one by one, from your chest, then down to your arms, your hands, then start getting down to your lower body. You will feel your body start to relax. And as you are doing that, also focus on your breathing. That's one of the best ways to fall asleep quickly, is to only focus on your breathing like you were when you were meditating. Meditation and focusing on each body part like that is going to take time to get used to, but once you do, man, it is going to really change the way that you sleep. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like for me. It really helps the channel grow, and subscribe for more content. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end, because, you know, I really like the people that stick around till the end. No, seriously, you guys are awesome. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.